Hey guys, how's it going? It's 8-Bit Eric, and there was an interesting story that was circulating around in regards to PlayStation 5 and the user interface in Japan. So, for years, since PlayStation has been out, at least in the United States, X has always been accept or enter, and circle has always been cancel or back. But in Japan, it's been the complete opposite. It's been circle for accept and X for back. It's been that way for over 25 years since we've had PlayStation consoles. Well, in a historic move, PlayStation has swapped them out. So now, worldwide, it's going to be the same. X will always be accept in the United States, North America, and Japan. So this is a huge deal, kind of. It's kind of interesting. So I wanted to go ahead and talk about this. I know some people may be like, oh, who cares? Are you running out of news? Blah, blah, blah. Honestly, I thought this was a fun, interesting little article. And yeah, so before we get to it, if you haven't subscribed, click that red button down below and enable those notifications so you don't miss when I provide a new video or an update or eat some nuggets or anything like that. So let's begin. So this says, in a historic move, PlayStation 5 swaps X and circle button use in Japan. And then they jokingly say cross-gen. So reading into the article, it's quite interesting, actually. Honestly, Japanese PlayStation owners are going to have to get used to this. Could you imagine if Nintendo suddenly switched what A and B do? Because on Nintendo, B is back or cancel, and A has always been kind of accept. So could you imagine if Nintendo did it after like almost over 30 years? This is the equivalent of that. So if you're a gamer in Japan and you've been playing PlayStation, you're going to have to kind of get used to swapping those buttons out. I just thought it was kind of interesting. So it says, Sony has swapped the usage of the X and circle buttons for the PlayStation 5 user interface in Japan, meaning X is now used to confirm settings while circle is used to cancel. It's like switching what side of the road you drive on, right? So it says, this, of course, is how PlayStation consoles and games have operated in the West for 25 years. But it's a big shift for Japan, where X has not historically been used to mean accept. X marks a spot, or X to Jason. There's X typically means cancel or quit over there, whereas the O of circle means okay. Okay, like the Rugrats say, or what was it, the Little Rascals. Little Rascals, Rugrats, same thing. So this says the detail comes from Famitsu, who's one of several Japanese outlets to get more details on PlayStation 5 over the weekend, and which has now reported a further wrinkle. So definitely one of the main websites, one of the main media outlets that's been getting hands-on, getting to sink their teeth into the PlayStation 5 is Famitsu. They've been providing a lot of info that I've actually shared on here. It says, perhaps even more confusingly, the Japanese versions of PS5 games will still use the previous definitions of X and circle, separate and contradictory to the PS5 hardware itself. So this is going to be a problem that needs to get patched. Like day one. The Japanese versions of these games will still use the previous definitions of X and circle, separate and contradictory to the PS5 hardware itself. So what in Japan, the launch menu and stuff like that is going to use the button swapped, but the games will have the previous definitions. These people are going to lose their minds. These people are going to lose their minds. So going down to the article, let's look at this. This is Famitsu's article where they talk about it. You know, actual features, load times. They did a pretty extensive article. You can go read this. It is available in Japanese, but of course you can always Google Translate it. And lots of information. It's very interesting to see all this hands-on info. They do talk about the DualSense, the vibration function, and all that. So I might actually do a video on this very shortly. But continuing on with the button moves, you can read some of the reactions right here from some people. Famitsu editor Kenji Iguchi, pardon my Japanese, he says, wow, this is big news for the UI UX. He wrote this on Twitter yesterday. Muscle memory frustration for the nearly 10 million PS users in Japan coming up. And I can hear you on that, because even me just swapping between playing a Nintendo game and playing an Xbox game, I get confused on A, B, X, and Y all of the time. So I can imagine what it's going to be like over there. So it says, in Japan, the circle equals good, okay, correct. Symbolism has been common knowledge for many decades. When designing the original PlayStation controller, it was likely that the placement of the OX were hence made to match the Super Famicom's AB and were utilized similarly. So that's fair, because B is cancel and X was canceled. So it says, I expect this will go down very badly with Japanese players. Unlearning muscle memory acquired through years of repetitions extremely tough. You got that right. Honestly, again, the Xbox controller, the Nintendo controller when I switch them. It says, for the short term, I think Japanese developers are actually going to face more dev burden instead of less due to this. So, dev burden, they're thinking this is going to cause some kind of inconvenience or problem when it comes to developing games in Japan. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it would be that serious, but then again, I guess, I don't know. The user experience over there is different. So it says 5 weeks away from the console's launch in Japan, and after many have already paid to receive one on console day, or launch day, details are finally to begin to trickle in on Sony's secretive new console. So they have been pretty secret. Now, this talks about how over the weekend, Sony showed several games to Japanese press and YouTubers. So they had a lot of hands-on with some Japanese YouTubers. I'm a little peanut butter and jelly about that. But yeah, what is it with PS5's mysterious, situation going on? It seems like Sony's been pretty quiet. There's been a lot of weird changes. This one is a very interesting change, though. Why they suddenly decided to do it after 25 years, who knows, honestly. I don't think it's that serious, though. I think people will become accustomed to it. Repetition, practice, playing these games over and over. I think it'll be okay in the long run. I don't think people are going to get frustrated. I mean, if we got to suck it up over here with the Nintendo and Xbox controller situation, then Japanese players can do it too. Sorry to say that. So I just thought there was an interesting little read, guys. I would love to hear your thoughts on this, or if you are a Japanese player, if you think this is going to affect your enjoyment of the PlayStation 5 and maybe throw you off for a bit. I would like to hear that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And yeah, historic move. History in the making here with Sony. Again, I don't know why they suddenly decided to do it. Who knows? But thanks a lot, guys, for watching, as always. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't. Enable the notifications so you don't miss when I make a brand new video. I appreciate the support. See you guys, as always. Have a great day. Peace out.